See.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boys than a Shawshank. I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas, massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Marr now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 35 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. As Cincinnati gets ready to take possession here on offense, you know, they're 0-3. We talked about that earlier. Let's look at their next 3 games. At Pittsburgh, hosting Arizona, then they go back on the road to Baltimore. That one obviously won't be easy. Could this be an 0-6 team in 3 weeks?
It very well could be. But let's flip it around and try and look positively for them, because at Pittsburgh is not what it was before. With the injuries the Steelers have had, the Steelers also off to an 0-3 start. That's an opportunity to actually go in and steal one. Arizona, 0-2-1 in the early going with a rookie quarterback in Kyler Murray. You've got a chance. Got them at home. Then the tough one to me, on the road against Baltimore, who's playing.
And this will be caught at the 30. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Mixon with a first down carry. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose with him.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The sack by Robert Quinn.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? He's going to go up top for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And Bullock will put this one through, and they are on the board, trailing now at 6-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They start on the ground with Elliott, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run with Elliott, fighting him off. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And now the defense for Dallas.
And there's linebacker Leighton Vander Esch, who was so impressive as a rookie in 2018. Many thought Dallas should have opted to pick a wide receiver at that spot. Turns out they made the absolute correct choice. A 2018 Pro Bowler who's only going to get better.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 42.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
368. 54 Mike, 54 Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Come on, baby.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Prescott now from the 50. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And Jason Garrett's going to leave the offense on the field. They're going to go for it here on 4th.
57 to Mike.
Now Prescott on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bengals will get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand. Jalen Smith, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Bring it.
Another try after the first down sack. Dalton airing one out for Bull. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold it.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 5.
6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
47. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, go. Right 52, right 52. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Right 52. Here we go. Go to 54, go to 54. Why?
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Shit.
Go. Get out there.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, here we go. 180. 57. Here we go. Go to 54. 180. Go to 53.
He's checking. Crash.
26.
Now on 2nd and 16. Prescott on the crossing route. He hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
It's a keeper with Prescott. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On first down, Elliott. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup there to make the grab. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Marr now to add the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Dalton. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. From the 36, Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Nice.
55. Check 55. Mike.
Here's Dalton. He finds Ross. Right side. It's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
368.
On 2nd and 7, Dalton. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton, he wants it all. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, 31 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
So now Dalton will lead the Bengals to the line as they'll come up and go for 2. Dalton here from the gun. Throws left side. And he's got it. They convert for 2, and that gets them even closer. Now a 2-point game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Get ready.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
First and 10 at the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Here we go. Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, 47. Here we go. Go to 54, go to 54. Line in. 26. 26.
On 2nd and 15 now. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And the lead is up to 5. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Charles, I want to go back to the Cowboys' 3-0 start here as their offense comes back out onto the field. As you said earlier, they started slow in the game against Miami. Good second half, but how about the ground game? They had 2 guys go over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, you expect. 3rd week back after, missing much of the preseason. He's in full form now. But their draft pick out of Memphis, Tony Pollard, got his first 100-yard game in the...
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 84 yards, and the Cowboys have retaken the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly, got right back to it, and look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. A toss running left. Pollard. And he will not make it to the goal line here. So they'll be unable to bump this lead up to a field goal as it remains a 1-point game.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. From the 30 on second down, Dalton. And, oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A big play there for Cincinnati. 44 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing, Dalton. Throw right side into the hands of the tight end Sample. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Hands up! 18! 93, 52, 93, 44. Hands up!
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now the Bengals going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. On the run, it's Mixon. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the 1st half. This is a 26-yard attempt. Bullock's kick is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So a little late drama in the 1st half as that kick will give them the lead into intermission.
Isn't this fun the way that this is unfolding? You're exactly right. The late drama, 3 points go up on the board, and we go into the half with a new leader.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Down. 47. 57, 957. Then we're going to 53. Deuce. 26.
Final play of the half. Prescott completes it to Jason Witten. The 20, 10, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grabbed the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach is going to be talking to them about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
So now with a late touchdown, not only will they take the lead to the locker room, but they'll try and add two more here. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go, 46. Switch it. Here we go, go to 54, wide in. 26.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That was very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
We're going to 54, wide in. 52. Then we're going to 53.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Hatch it.
26.
Prescott from the gun. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Here we go, go to 54, wide in. 26.
57 to Mike. All day, just like that. Just like that.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Gun.
They go to Elliott again. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Undercrunch.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
47.
Trump. Mike 5'9". I got it. 59's Mike. Check. 59. Pick it up.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know they're securing the point of attack. Especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check. Big ass.
To throw here, Dalton. Open man is Uzomah. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Check.
They'll run on 1st down. Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Right there.
Hey, Alpha. Good.
Now on 2nd and 13. Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Again, it's Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I'm coming after you. Check 59.
We're going to 53.
59. Mike to 59. Push him back. Push him back. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check safety. Check safety. Watch out.
We're going to 54. Wide in.
Kill.
We're going to 54. Going to 54.
And the blitz does come. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. A 20th carry here for Elliott. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Better bring it. You better bring it. We're going to 53. Right now, you better. We're going to 53.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's got the first down inside the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Prescott now. This will be caught just inside the 10. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Hey, kill.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal.
Mike 57, Echo. 57's a Mike. Watch 57. Watch the run.
There we go, kill.
They'll throw again. Prescott. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he stopped immediately there. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass. Here's Kevin Huber now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up, and what's been so far a tough game for them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Now Prescott, and this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Dak finding his tight end Witten, and the Cowboys have a 1st down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. On 1st down, it's Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Let's go. He's coming. We got double up. Watch the safety creep.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? To throw is Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
47.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Here we go, 46, 46.
5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2. Danny.
26.
Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The kick by Maher is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Hey, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball.
Hey, go, 368. Hey, team 6.
Here's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points, that means this is now a 2-score game.
Yeah, and that's tough to deal with, isn't it? This little time left. Those 2 points doesn't seem like a lot, but it means everything now. Those are going to be the ones we're going to look back on. Those 2 points right there, the play of the game.
Come on now, let's go.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Check, 59. Here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big gain there on 3rd and long. And even 60 yards for him on the ground.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. 1st down, and it's Pollard again. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
57. Mike, 57.
All day.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. 47.
Check me out. 57's the mic.
26.
57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Watch the run.
26.
Prescott toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Marr able to put this one through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Dalton and the offense now. down by 12. Exactly 1 minute remaining. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summing onto the field as they'll go for 2. Now a toss coming right side. Pollard, and he is not going to get in there. He stopped short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. '52's the mic, boys. 52.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. The Bengals drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. It's do or die for Dalton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.